Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my super wild card weekend matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, without a further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with the injury report, starting with the player who is doubtful for this game for the Green Bay Packers, and that is A.J. Dillon with a thumb and neck injury. Then we go to the questionable players who are Jair Alexander and Christian Watson. Jair having a shoulder and ankle injury, and Christian Watson with a hamstring injury. Now, when it comes down to the active players and potentially inactive, it's really not confirmed that much to me. I have not been able to find out about some of these players, but we got Isaiah McDuffie, concussion and neck injuries, Devondre Campbell with a neck injury, Romeo Doubs with a chest injury, knee injury and ankle injury for Elgton Jenkins, Aaron Jones with a knee and finger injury, Luke Musgrave with a kidney injury, Josh Myers with a neck injury, Jonathan Owens with a knee injury, Jaden Reed with a chest injury, Sean Ryan, I think that's how you say it, with an elbow injury, Darnell Savage with a shoulder injury, Daryl Slayton with a knee and foot injury, Preston Smith with an ankle injury, Zach Tom with a finger injury, Quay Alexander with a shoulder injury, and Emmanuel Wilson with a shoulder injury. Now, out of these players who are sort of possibly active, I might say that Luke Musgrave might be the one that actually does not play. But don't count him out just yet, because I actually believe that he might actually play, but he is the most likely player to, out of the players who are still unknown or active, he is the most likely one to actually not play. Now, when it comes to the players who are questionable, they're both going to play. Christian Watson and Jair Alexander will most likely play in this game, while A.J. Dillon will be ruled out for this game and will probably have Emmanuel Wilson come in to replace him. And honestly, when it comes to the injuries, they're not going to suffer as bad as the other team, the Cowboys. Now, moving on to the offense of the Green Bay Packers, we've got Jordan Love at quarterback, Aaron Jones at running back, Christian Watson at wide receiver, but if he can't go, Bo Melton would come in. Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed would also be the two other wide receivers along with either Bo Melton or Christian Watson. While Luke Musgrave is most likely going to be the one taking the snaps, but obviously if he can't go, his backup will come in. Then we get Rashid Walker at left tackle, Elgton Jenkins at left guard, Josh Myers at center, John Rungan at right guard, and Zach Tom at right tackle. This offense has been on point this entire season. Like, midway through the season, we thought this team was worth nothing. And to be honest, I was one of those people. I thought this team was not going to do anything with Jordan Love, and they were probably going to cut him and replace him with a new quarterback next year. But we were all proved wrong, as they managed to win against the Chicago Bears and push their place into the playoffs against the Dallas Cowboys. It kind of saddens me because it could have been Seattle, but regardless, the Green Bay Packers made it in, and this offense of the Green Bay Packers will be outstanding today against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, moving on to the defense, we got defensive ends Kenny Clark and Devontae Wyatt, with nose tackle to Daryl Slayton. Inside linebackers will be Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker, and Rashawn Gary will be at the strong side linebacker position. The weak side linebacker would be Preston Smith. Carrington Valentine will be one of the corners alongside Jair Alexander, but if he cannot go, Kayshawn Nixon will come in instead, while Darnell Savage is the starting free safety and Jonathan Owens the starting strong safety. Now, in the end, what do we have here? We have a defense that needs to come after the receivers of, like, I think some of the receivers they should go after is Michael Gallup, Devontae Turpin, I think that's how you call him. I think that's his name. And definitely CeeDee Lamb. Also, watch out for the tight end Ferguson. He's very good. But in the end, what is this game going to be on defense for the Green Bay Packers? Because honestly, even without Jair Alexander, if you put Valentine on possibly, let's say, CeeDee Lamb, you better hope that CeeDee Lamb doesn't smoke him. Because I actually believe that Alexander will be a tough match for CeeDee Lamb. But Valentine is 50-50 for me. In the end, this will be decided by either the run or the pass game of the Cowboys and how they attack this Green Bay Packer defense. Now, moving on to the Dallas Cowboys injury report, we got Cooper Rush at quarterback. He's questionable for this game with an illness. Then the rest of the players will be active, and that is Dorrance Armstrong with an ankle injury, Stephon Gilmore with a shoulder injury, Jonathan Hankins with an ankle injury, Malik Hooker with an ankle injury, and Tyler Smith with a foot injury. Now, obviously, Cooper Rush ain't playing as the starter. So if he cannot go, they most likely put Trey Lance there, who they traded for in week 1, I believe. Either week 1 or the end of the preseason, somewhere around there. The 49ers traded Trey Lance to him, to the Dallas Cowboys. And honestly, it's going to be more of the same regardless of who is the backup. Because in the end, Dak Prescott is going to take this team and he's going to take them to possibly the promised land. I cannot guarantee that he will, but I in fact believe that if Dak does do what he needs to do on offense, that he can actually take this team to victory and on to the divisional round. Now on to the next, and that is the offense of the Dallas Cowboys. As Dak Prescott will be starting at quarterback, running back Tony Pollard, fullback Hunter Luke, I think that's how you say it, and then CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks at receiver, with Jake Ferguson at tight end, Tyron Smith at left tackle, left guard Tyler Smith, Tyler Diaz, I don't know if that's how you say it, at center, and Zach Martin at right guard with Terrence Steele at right tackle. This offensive line is honestly going to be good enough to give Pollard the running room, the holes that he needs to go through, and it'll give Dak Prescott at least 3 seconds minimum for him to throw. And that's perfect for a quarterback. 3 seconds is perfect. And honestly, I think Dak Prescott might feel a bit of pressure, but in the end, if he can get it out to CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Cooks or whichever other receiver is there, and I think that he'll actually get the win for the Dallas Cowboys on the offensive side. Now on to the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. We got defensive ends DeMarcus Lawrence and Dorrance Armstrong. Defensive tackles Jonathan Hankins and defensive tackle Osa Odigizua. I don't know if I said that correctly. With the strong side linebacker being Micah Parsons, the weak side linebacker being Damian Clark, and Marquise Bell at the inside linebacker position. Cornerbacks will be Deron Bland and Stephon Gilmore, with Donovan Wilson at free safety and Jason Kearse at strong safety. Then we move on to this. Is Stephon Gilmore going to be taking care of Christian Watson or not? That is the question. And honestly, I think that he can take him down. But you probably won't put Stephon Gilmore at that position. You might put Deron Bland, who has been excellent for the Cowboys this season since coming in for an injured Trevon Diggs. And honestly, I'm seeing this guy as a future ball hawk, as a future possible top corner in the league. But if he gets the treatment of Josh Norman, yeah, that ain't happening in his future. But in the end, I do think that the Dallas Cowboys defense will have big trouble against the Green Bay Packer offense, especially with Aaron Jones and Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and all these other guys that came out of nowhere at times. So, in the end, I think that these guys will have trouble, but it's still 50-50 on who will win. Now, in the end, I actually believe that the Green Bay Packers will win this game 18-10 against the Dallas Cowboys. The Packers will advance, and the Cowboys will be going home as usual, and they will not be getting that Super Bowl championship for the first time since the 1990s. Instead, they'll be watching the playoffs of the divisional round at home, as the Green Bay Packers potentially move on to the NFC Championship game. But it might also not be that. They might actually not even make the NFC Championship game and lose in the divisional round. Anything could happen. This is sports. We could see CJ Stroud as Super Bowl champion and MVP, or we could see the same thing as usual as Patrick Mahomes host the Lombardi Trophy and the Super Bowl MVP, like usual. But in the end, sports is unpredictable, and we cannot predict this any more than we can. But I am confident that the Green Bay Packers will advance to the divisional round. Now, that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think will win and who do you think will lose? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.